a standard 52 deck of cards. You are not required to understand cards in this class, but it is an excellent tool for counting or things like this. So let's talk about what we're calling these things, right? So we have 4 suits, 2 red ones, diamonds and hearts. Those are the 2 red ones, and then 2 black ones. Oops, that's not black. Clubs and spades. So there's 4 different suits. Okay, and then we have different kinds or denominations. We're going to say kinds because in poker you talk about 2 of a kind, 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, and we literally mean not of the same suit, but of the same kind. So we're going to call these kinds. And there are 13 kinds in each suit, and they're identical. We good? Everybody knows cards? Anybody not know cards? It's okay if you don't super know cards, but if you don't know cards, do you know these cards now? Okay. Let's count. First of all, if we were going to play poker, 5-card draw. You also need to know how to play. So I'm going to explain some things just for you to be able to count. First, so I'm going to deal you 5 cards. How many ways can I deal you 5 cards? Now, I want you to imagine I just dealt them for you and you put them in your hand. Do you care about their order? You might care about the order in your hand just for your own sake, but does it change your hand if you move the cards around? No, it does not. Right? You might organize them by suit and size, but it's still your hand, which means order does not matter. So how many cards do I have here? I have 52 cards. So how many ways could you be dealt a hand of cards? Okay, my next question for you is how many hands, and notice you've been dealt 5 cards, so that's given in all of the questions I'm going to ask you. And how many hands, well, I don't know how I'm saying this. How many ways? Let me rephrase that. Can you be dealt 4 of a kind? And I don't mean 4 of the same suit. I mean 4 of the same kind. For example, 4 4s. Okay? So let's write down our steps because this can get hard. This one's not going to be bad, but we can make it harder. So step 1, a lot of times when people are counting cards, they want to choose those cards from the beginning. And that's not always the case in our steps. Our steps might be like, let me choose the kind first. You know what I mean? Choose what kind you're going to have 4 of. How many kinds are there? 13. So we don't have any cards in our hand at this step. We've just decided we're going to choose, let's say we chose 4s. All right, then our next step would be then to actually get those 4s. So choose the cards. How many 4s are there? 4. And how many do I want? 4. So that's just a 4, choose 4. You're like, what? You told me not to include 2, choose 2. And you actually don't need to include it, but I'm going to so that we can extend this to something like 3 of a kind or 2 of a kind where things get more complicated. All right. Are we done? At this stage, we only have 4 cards in our hand, right? and they're all fours. We need one more card. So what do we do? The last step is to choose the last card. And there are no more fours, so there are 48 left, and we're going to choose one. This is the most straightforward of the counting of cards. It's already time. It's going to get so exciting. All right, we'll start next week with more counting.